One of 9 children, Homer Robert Whitworth was born on a small farm in Oklahoma in 1924. After Pearl Harbor, his brothers enlisted. It was decided that he would stay on the farm to help their father. However, the United States Army had other ideas. He was drafted in July of 1943. His duty stations included while in England, he met and fell in love with the woman who was to become his life mate. When he met Grace Pritchett, he thought she was the most beautiful woman in the world. He found her to be fascinating, delightful, and on more than one occasion, frustrating. He could hardly believe that she would even look at a country boy like him. When she said yes, he considered himself blessed. They were married on August 10, 1945. A year later, she came to the States on a war bride ship. Although he was to be promoted to sergeant, Homer separated from the Army in November 1946. As a civilian, he continued to work with the Army as a clerk typist at the U.S. Naval Ammunition Depot in McAlester, Oklahoma. However, facing a layoff, he chose to enlist in July 1949. His duty stations included family was everything to him, which is why whenever possible, Grace and their 2 children, Anne and Trevor, accompanied him to his duty stations. In them he saw a unique mix of Grace and himself, as each in their own way chose a life of service. After earning her master's and bachelor degrees, Anne worked with the Red Cross until illness forced her to medically retire. Trevor served 20 years active duty in the Army. He continues his service as a civil servant. From working with active duty personnel to serving at the Pentagon, each of his children made him bust his buttons with pride. His and Grace's legacy has continued with their grandchildren, even though he was only able to know them for a short time. He thought they were amazing people who made him laugh and filled his life with joy. He knew they were going to change the world, as would his great-grandchildren. A man of few words, Homer had a kind heart. He didn't always say all he knew, yet when he did share his wisdom, it was spot on. He thought it was a weakness not to ask for help when you needed it. When asked, he would step up for as long as he was needed. But once you said you had it, you had best be true to your word. Honor and doing what was right was the foundation of his life. This is why he held himself and others to such a high standard. He also knew mistakes were a part of life, yet his what next attitude turned the mistake into a learning experience. You can take the boy off the farm, but you can never take the farm out of the boy. Better with mules than with horses. He used to say it was because he had more in common with the mules. He loved all animals, yet his favorite was a little brown and white dog who became his retirement companion. Homer was practical, yet he believed that dreams fed the soul. He believed that you supported family members' dreams, even if you didn't understand them. There are enough people in the world telling them what they can't do without being shot down at home. He was a man who believed in others. Homer Robert Whitworth, who died December 16, 1984. He is still loved and missed.